Here's why you should always advocate for yourself, because this fitting went very wrong. Hi, I'm Sherry from Twin Sisters Mastectomy Boutique, and I saw this client about 6 months ago. She was seeing me for her post-op surgical items, which meant that she was going into surgery, and I was fitting her with some recovery garments that she would take to the hospital, wear them home from the hospital, and then wear them for, several weeks after. And I didn't hear from her for about, 6 months. And then all of a sudden I heard from her and she said, hey, I'd love to come in for a fitting. Fantastic. So she came in and she already had a breast prosthesis. Fine. It was the perfect size. Everything was fine. And she had a couple of bras and she brought them with her. And she said, I went to this place that they fit you with the breast prosthesis and you pay for it. And then they gift you a couple of mastectomy bras. And I guess they use it as a charitable write-off. Anyway, this is a place I've heard about many, many times. I've heard very good things about them. And I said, oh, that's fantastic. And she said, yeah, but I wanted to come to you because I don't believe my fitting was correct. So she told me the story. She was fit with her breast prosthesis. And originally, her breast prosthesis was a couple of sizes too big. And so she had said, it's too big. And the woman said, no, this is your size. And after a couple of days, she went back and she said, this is not my size. It doesn't match. It's too big. I look uneven. I can't wear this. And they reluctantly changed it for her. But they did change it for her for the right size. No problem. And then she had her mastectomy bras. And her mastectomy bras were definitely the wrong size. So much so that she couldn't wear them. And when you measure bras, it's tricky. When you measure bras, you measure around the band, and that's your band size. So like a 42B or a 36A, whatever it is. This is your band size. So when you measure, you actually add 3 to 5 inches. So if you measure a 40, you're going to be wearing a 44 to a 46 A, B, C, D, whatever. Okay? So as a bra fitter, you should know this. Unfortunately, the lady that she went to did not know this. And, I asked a few questions, and apparently the woman was in her 50s, so it's unlikely that she was new at this. And so she was wearing a band size that was, what size did we get her in? Yeah, so she was wearing a band size that was about 5 inches too small for her, so she could not even wear it. It was strangling her. And she was a B cup. So imagine this. If you are wearing a 36 B cup, it would be about this big. If you're wearing a 48 B cup, the cup is this big. They're still B cups, but they change in proportion to the band size. Well, she was not only in a band size that was too small, the cup size was too small because it was in proportion, and then she wasn't even in a B cup. She was in an A cup. So this is the actual breast prosthesis size she was wearing. This is the actual, not her actual bra, but the actual bra size she was wearing. And we can see, if we put these together, that it wouldn't even fit in the cup. It would not even fit in the cup of the bra. That is ridiculous. So she would have had to squish this up, which would make it look really weird. And plus it would damage the breast prosthesis over time. She could not wear it. So for 6 months, she had modified her own bras, which I think she's genius. She modified her own bra, put a pocket in, but she wasn't getting the proper look and support because this wasn't the right bra. So she came to me. She said, I need to be properly fit. And we got her into bras that worked out beautifully for her. So here's the thing. It was her first fitting at this other place. She was overwhelmed. Thank goodness she did advocate for herself for the breast prosthesis, because that would have been a lot of hoops to jump through to get it replaced, because this goes through a program we have in Ontario called the Assistive Devices Program that everybody has to go through. So, she got the right breast prosthesis, so that was great. But here's the thing, just because some organization has a good reputation doesn't mean that the person fitting you is not having an off day. So if you think something is not right, really advocate for yourself. I could be having an off day. And if somebody thinks something's not right, then speak up, because the most important person in this whole thing is the client. They're the one wearing the item at the end of the day. So have you been in that situation where, especially for a first fitting or, for anything, where you didn't feel comfortable with the end result? Did you advocate for yourself? Did you just suck it up? Did you have to spend more money? What was your situation? Because and this lady was really nice about it. She's like, it's a great organization. It was just the wrong fitting. And I agree with her. It is a great organization and it was just the wrong fitting. But the cost to the individual of a wrong fitting is huge. It's huge because you're wearing this every day and you can't wear it with your mastectomy bras. And while it was great that they generously donated 2 mastectomy bras, she can't wear them. So I guess she'll maybe donate them to somebody else. But her experience was not great. I hope that if I am doing a fitting and somebody is like, I don't feel comfortable in this, that they will speak up and advocate for themselves or let me know. Often people are really shy. Like I'll bring out like a bra and I'll say, I'll bring out a bunch of bras. And I'm like, do you like this one? Do you like this one? And people will, I don't know, they don't want to insult me by saying I don't like that bra or whatever. But I can usually tell on their face. Even when they put it on, they're like, oh yeah. And I'll say, do you like the bra? Because people are too polite. They're too sweet. And I've learned to read people well enough that if they're not immediately like, oh yeah, I like that one, I know they don't like it. And it's too expensive to just sit in your drawer. So let me know what your experience has been. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.